listening to Unpause Your Life with Dr. Cali Estes and Master Coach Jenny Fontana, founders of the Life Coach Method. Each one of our uplifting and deep dive episodes is geared to help you tackle the things that hold you back from having the most magnificent life you deserve. Sit back, relax, and prepare to be coached.
Guys, welcome to Unpause Your Life. I am so excited for this podcast that we have overcome many hurdles to get to. Want to tell you about my new guest. His name is Lukasz. He's in Miami, and he and his wife have an amazing practice for something that they do that is much needed, not something we offer, but hopefully after meeting with them, we'll be able to offer both services to you guys. So welcome, Lukasz.
Hi, thank you for having me. And it's my pleasure to share this space with you. It's a beautiful day in Miami here. So let's talk about deep connections, because that's what we do. It's all about intimate connections. My business name is Shamanic Wellness. I run it together with my wife. We combine the forces as a power couple, and we are very much into the similar things of how to empower people, how to connect them deeply within themselves, because there's so much disconnection outside in the world right now, and we're all focusing only on the outside and what's the next goal, what's the next connection outside, relationship, and so on. So our focus all the time goes outside of ourselves without realizing that all of that is outside comes from within us. So that's the original source of creation, connection within. So our business is structured in the way that we have many different tools that we work with. For example, there's a part of bringing the awareness of who you truly are through astrology and human design, intuitive life coaching, and some level of psychology and neuro-linguistic programming to restructure your belief about who you are and how you create your reality. In a way that you end up feeling more empowered, and you use the tools of your energetic blueprint, the design that you have created yourself to use in order to have the life that you envision. So that's one part of it, is that awareness, bringing that awareness to your strengths, perhaps your challenges and weaknesses, or how to look at it from different perspectives, because there's no really weaknesses and challenges. There are just different levels of self-awareness and perception that we have to shift. And that's what we do, to help you to understand how to use your unique blueprint of information, how to use even your outside reality as a reflection of that who you are, because this is your creation based on your frequency and vibration. You have created all of that you experience, right? So
now you're talking my language. Now you're
we always say the reality is self-projected in order to self-reflect. So we use what is around us to know the self, right? And that's the language of creation.
That is so true. I tell all my clients, they always say, why am I picking the same guy over and over and over again? Or why am I getting the same job that makes no money? Or, why do I do the same thing? And I'm like, well, it's inside. Everything is here. Your reality is what's in here. So if this is all jumbled up, everything out here is a reflection of what's in your head.
So true. Once we shift the awareness, the reality already shifts, changes completely. Even people around us change. It's so funny sometimes in relationship, because we also do relationship coachings, and we dive into topics like that. I'm very big into that, relationships and the dynamics of relationships, starting from even intimacy and into then the higher awareness of what that relationship really is. Again, your partner is your reflection, right? Reflection of who you are. So sometimes, people want to change the partners, and I always say, no, don't change the partners. Focus on changing yourself and focus on your change of response to what your reality presents, and that's when the partner is going to start changing too, because it's like in a quantum physics. Everything is connected. So quantum entanglement, right? And energy contagion. Once we shift our vibration and our awareness, we literally quantum jump into different reality that is completely different in response to that. So then we notice that our partners change, our parents and friends change and have different perception and awareness suddenly as well. So it's all a matrix, interconnected matrix, and that's what we dive into. This understanding of guiding people into self-empowerment, really, and realization that they are the creators of their reality, complete creators of their reality, and then helping them become that conscious creator of their reality through practicing awareness, through practicing energy self-mastery, because we also have tools like Kundalini tantric practices, where it's all about energy self-mastery programs of how do we actually use the ancient techniques of breath work, awareness, to learn how to stimulate the energy flow within the body and then redirect it in the body. And then also we then dive into an intimacy and how to use the intimacy as the same. Two grids, powerful grids together, combined, creating one, opening a portal, really, creating one powerful energy circulation between one another. So intimacy as a spiritual like experience, and sacredness of it, right? A sacredness of the connection. And then I also, what I specialize in is the body and energy work,
I want to talk about this because you do something I haven't ever seen in my travels of body work and mental health and addiction. I've done it all. Tell us what you do that's different, because this is so unique to me.
So this is like my baby, and it's always been my passion, which is, let's call it massage, because people are familiar with that word, right? I don't really use the word massage because for me it's a body work. And back in the days when I was actually doing massage and trying to learn all the techniques that I possibly could from all over the world, I literally traveled everywhere to learn all the different modalities. And I got myself into New Zealand and in this shamanic training. And my teacher at that time was constantly asking, do you want to do massage or you want to do body work? Because massage understood as like, you repeat something that is technical and you're in that space of providing some relaxation and touching the body. So yes, of course, there's an energy exchange in that too, but you don't really step into that perception of it. But when you really dive into what the touch is and what's the power of it and what's the information that it carries, and also all depends on your state of being at the moment, of course, because it's all energy contagion, right? So how do I cultivate that space within myself, in that connection to myself, to that present moment and connection within, where all that power is, like the sages say, right? The true power comes from within, to then shift the energy in the space, including the person that I'm in that connection with. And it's a mutual work, of course. So I'm not saying it's me doing something. I'm in the space of it happening, right?
But your space is unique. That's the interesting thing. What do you
My
tell me
space,
about this space that you
my space
do?
is very, very unique because that's another journey that I experienced. So I've been working with the body work for a very long time, and I had a vision. One time in meditation, I saw myself working in a dark room. It was complete darkness. And I'm like, wow, I freaked out a little because I was like, at the same time, I got excited because I was at that space when I was asking, what's next? What's next with that? How to go deeper with it? Because I was always asking, my ascendant is in Scorpion. I have so much Scorpionic energy in me. So I just want to go into the depth of it and how to really activate people from that deeper sense connection. And so I saw myself working in a dark room, and I was like, okay, let's go for it. I want to create dark room experience for what I do. And so I started working for a time being, for a while, blindfolding myself first to see how I'm going to even be able to perform what I do. Because once I take the lights off, I'm talking about the space of complete blackout. It's nothing to see.
Mhm.
Uh, and the idea of it is beautiful because when there's nothing outside of us to connect, again, going to our this initial conversation, when there's nothing outside of us to connect, we dive deeper and deeper within. And through our sensory activation, because it's a touch, it's the feeling, it's the embodiment, it's the somatic work, right, on the body, and that intimate connections, very sacred. So I'm not saying intimate of, people start shifting into dark room or what is happening. This is the space of my table is an altar. My space is a temple and very sacred connection. There is an intimacy because touch itself is intimate. I'm sorry, but the intention of touch, if there's no love behind it and deep connection, then what is that you are exchanging through that, right? Uh, there's the presence. So there's that connection and there's the darkness. So I also sit in sweat lodges a lot and I compare that experience to that, very
That's
shaman.
why I'm so interested in this. I do sweat lodge, and it's
Ah,
in pitch black, and
so
it's
you
hot.
understand the
Yes,
feeling. You
yes.
open your eyes and it's a little freaky because it's like,
Uh-huh.
feels like if I would have my eyes closed actually. And sometimes I tell my clients, if you're curious about it, just open your eyes. Because the first time I opened my eyes, because we really during our life, we don't really experience darkness, because even when we go sleep during the night, there's some sort of lights going on or from outside or from our home. So there's no blackout. This space is like with the sweat lodge tool, complete blackout. So you open your eyes and guess what? You're not outside. You are inside of yourself.
Uh-huh.
But that's that. And add on top of that, put that connection with another person that is a constant, you know, um, sensory activation on the body. And then what happens? You connect deeply with your senses getting activated. You have no vision, so you connect even deeper with your senses of that skin, of that touch and feeling. And then you go into the breath. You connect to the breath. Breath moves the energy. And you step a layer deeper into the awareness and consciousness. And that's the magic, because consciousness is the basis of the reality. So in that space, I call it a meditative space of mind, meditative state of being. The brain chemistry changes. Not even mentioning, by the way, that the dark room blackout changes the brain chemistry because there's more melatonin production happening. So you relax different into it. Could be a level of fear a little too, but once you overcome that, it's like, it just me, myself, and I in that space. So you let go deeper, you relax deeper, and that melatonin production is stimulated. And then going back into the unity, I always say that I don't know how a person on the table experiences it. I would love to experience it, so I always say that I will clone myself at some point, or after I transition to another reality, I will be lying on the table and massaging myself, and see how it feels. But I know how it feels because I'm part of it. I always say that there's a moment where, not moment, pretty much right now the whole session, that I lose awareness of where my body ends and when other body begins. So we become one. Everything is really one. So that's and my clients feel the same because there's that flow and deeper connection. I use my hands, I use my forearms, I use my energy centers, which is my torso, to hold the space. And so the feeling is like we are becoming one moving, molding ball of energy, literally. And that's what it is. Everything is just moving ball of energy. And that's the space that I want people to get, because in that space, as I mentioned, the meditative state of mind, we are consciousness without the masks, without the identifications of our beliefs of who we are at that moment. We merge with the totality that we are, right? We come from the totality. We are totality, the God embodied. Let's just call it as it is. A fractals of the divine, but fractals represents the divine as the totality. So in that state of mind, the expansion of mind, same as all of the ancient practices, leads us into that as well. Meditation, deep states of contemplations, Kundalini and tantric practices, the opening of the third eye, the multidimensional reality, we are multidimensional beings, right? So here, me as the Lukasz, I have this perception of reality and these problems that I'm dealing with and these limitations and that perception of myself. But in the space of the totality, who am I then? I am all of it. Is there a problem? Yes, there is a problem. There's a limitation, but only then I realize that it comes from limited self-awareness and limited self-perception. And through that, really, what I believe and how I see it, that just through the body work, people can quantum shift the entire life, because either it's relationship, financial, and I've experienced it. It's not that I'm just saying it, because I have clients that come with me with specific intention. I also work with an intention, so I will tell them, when I open a space, with a flute playing. It's a nose flute. It's a powerful tool that I created actually in that New Zealand at that workshop that I did. And I open the space, and at that moment, I will ask clients to focus on their intention. So I work a lot with an intention. And so that energy that is put in motion, intention is the direction for the energy flow. And then we move the energy into that direction to reshape the reality. So I've had clients manifesting new jobs within like a week. Mm-hmm. Literally coming back to me, and we did this whole ritual. We work with that intention, and a client of mine was like, I can't believe it, I just got called out of nowhere by HR of they found me somewhere and they offered me this job that wants to pay me almost double that I've been making, and stuff or relationships and stuff like that. So I believe in quantum healing and instant healing, because I always say also to people, like instant healing, with people will be feeling, no, that's something freaky, where you can't instantly heal something that you've been developing for, let's say, 20 years, and it's a chronic disease or whatever it is. And I say, yes, you can. Because look, I would just always bring one example to shift their awareness and perception on things and how it works in this reality. This is a holographic reality, by the way. So split personality disorders, people. I'm Lukasz, but with a shift of awareness, I'm suddenly John. I see myself as John. I understand myself as being John. It's my awareness just shifts. My brain just shifts. Does the quantum loop, so called, right? And as Lukasz, I might be having some chronic disorders. I might be having some allergies. I might be having some heart problems or whatever else. As John, or even cancer. And as John, I suddenly don't have it in a split second. Even more so, my tone of voice can change. My eye color can change. And this is all proven by science. They've been doing research like that as Lukasz, my eyes are blue, but as John, my eyes suddenly is going to be green or whatever else. So it's not only, as I said, consciousness creates the reality. And we literally, as our physical bodies, we flash in and out of reality all the time. So half of the time as vibration, right? On atomic level, on atomic structure. Half of the time we exist as physical body in the physical body, and half of the time we don't. So half of the time when we don't exist in the physical body, then what are we? Right? We are just the blueprint of information, because there is some blueprint of information that holds all of that structure together, the essence of who we are, to then project it into the reality all the time. But once we go straight into the blueprint of information and change that blueprint of information with our awareness perception, everything change, even our body, even our so-called disease.
I'm just getting into all this stuff. I start reading it and I'm going down the whole Joe Dispenza, rabbit hole and the whole thing. And I was reading how, the mind, everything inside is outside. So if you think you have cancer, you have cancer. If you start thinking you don't have cancer, you can actually heal your body on all the levels. But if your chakras aren't aligned, you're going to have all kinds of problems because you're trying to heal something that's not in alignment. So you get an alignment, then you can do the healing process. This is exactly what you're talking about.
I love what you say, just the chakras in alignment, because some people will just say and simplify it. Oh, I'm just going to think that way. But, thinking is just a very small part of the whole process of manifestation, which we also do, deep dive into how we actually exactly manifest our reality, because the chakra alignment is the essence of it. Why? Because we are the energy. Let's just go quickly into that, because I want people to understand it. And it's an information that already going to empower so many people in so many ways. Whatever you want to manifest, whatever you want to create, or whatever you're dealing with that you don't want to deal with anymore. It's like you are the energy, the source. So it's the crown chakra, right? And from the source comes your inspiration. So that's your intention. That intention has to be in alignment of what is that you actually meant to create and manifest for yourself. It has to be in alignment with everything else. It's not that, well, perhaps if you want to manifest a pink Ferrari, for a reason for you to just enjoy the ride and be in that space of having it beautifully. That's possible too. Everything is possible. You can manifest whatever it is. But first of all, the intention, crown. Then is the visualization, which is the third eye. So visualize what is that you want. Paint the picture of it, right? So activate that third eye center into having that intention as a visual picture. That's how we create. And then throat center, which is and that's also the thought, the third eye center. So think and visualize. Then the throat center is the expression, is the manifestation through affirmation. So it's not that you're just going to stand in front of the mirror and be speaking something into the reality. That's only part of it. That's that throat center, yes. Pay attention to what you say and how you say it, not only out loud, but internally. It's even more important. So how you talk to yourself, how you talk to your body, how you talk to your reality, what you say, what is the wording, because those are sacred codes of manifestation. Then there is the heart center, which is the magnetic monopoly. That's what manifests. That's what creates the electromagnetic wave that creates the reality. So high frequency vibration of that heart will help you to shift the reality faster. Low frequency of the heart center will slow it down. And the heart is actually the one that pulls all the energy from all the chakras into one. So how you think, how you speak, how you act, and so on, that's the frequency of the heart. So vibrate love, right? Be positive, think positive, act positive, and so on, and have that frequency high. For high frequency, meaning there's many loops in a small frame of time, right? Happening, many, how you call it, waves of energy. Low frequency is like there's a slow one wave in the same time frame, which means we always manifest it just with different speed. So sometimes when your heart frequency is so low, you still manifest, but it might take you 3 lifetimes to manifest what you are wanting to manifest, right? Instead of 3 years, let's say, or 3 months or 3 weeks. So that's the heart center. Then there's a solar plexus, which is, do you actually believe that you are a creator of your reality or a victim of circumstances? That's the solar plexus. It's your own power. I am the creator of my reality. I am the God embodied. And I have free will to manifest and create as I please, as my will is. So that's the self-empowerment, self-power. So practice of that. If there's some limitations of you actually believing that, dive into that. Where is that coming from? In our programs, actually, we go into the whole process of digesting that. Like, where is that coming from? Why is that limitation, and so on, and to help people to empower that center. So that's the solar plexus. And then sacral is the creative and emotional center. So I always say, emotions are energy in motion, that it's a reflection of the reality that we observe. So that emotion, that energy in motion comes from the reality that we have created to then tell us how we feel about it. And emotions are also very much linked to our past experiences, especially the very hardcore emotions, like even traumatic experiences, and the triggers. Let's call them triggers because that's a very popular word. So the trigger comes, and that's already an emotion that we know multiplied from our past experiences, that we have a specific idea about it because we have already experienced it in the past. If we don't process that emotion, if we don't learn how to release it, how to just take it as an information from the field in order to go within and then see what we have to shift in order to create differently, and we're just gonna hold and hold and hold into that emotion, what we do, we create past experiences. So that's what you're going back to, you know, as you were saying about your clients, oh, I'm constantly manifesting the same partners, you know, or I'm constantly manifesting the same experiences in life that I don't like, because you keep don't liking them. So then that emotion that you feel constantly of that particular thing that you're creating, going to keep manifesting the past experiences because it's linked to the past, right? So how to then come with that psychology, right? How to come with self-awareness, how to learn how to release the emotions. That's the power of this center, how to work with the emotions. Emotion as self-awareness. You know, I only feel emotion because there is something that I need to learn about myself and shift the awareness of. There's a beautiful shamanic saying, actually, whatever someone does to you or doesn't do, says to you or doesn't say, and it creates that trigger emotion or negative thought or a negative feeling within you. It's your soul screaming for you to look within and heal. So whatever comes from the space, and there is that trigger, negative trigger, that's already your information. There's something inside that needs to move, change. So that's the emotion. And then the root, which is the embodiment. You know, it's not that we're only going to envision, speak nicely, and feel that we are full of love from that heart center. And yes, I believe that I'm the creator, but then I'm gonna sit under the tree and do nothing, right? No, there is that action taken in alignment with that intention. Action taken, and also a gratitude, because gratitude is the energy of recognition of your own power, because you're grateful for what is in front of you. So you recognize all that is as coming from within you, which means you give yourself the full power that you are, recognition that you have created it. If I paint a picture and I don't like something on that picture, I'm not going to say, oh, I'm not an artist of this, I didn't paint it because I don't like this one particular thing. First, I have to accept that, yeah, I painted it. I did a little shitty job with this one part of it. And that comes from, you know, maybe my lack of skill in this area. So, and then I'm going to practice and learn how to do it differently, to then paint it differently. And the same is with reality. So gratitude and action taken, and joy of living. Many people forget about that one. That's also the root, the embodiment of our creation is the experience of it. So how do we enjoy our life? The more things we do that we enjoy, that brings that high frequency vibration in us, satisfaction. Also, it's going to stimulate that heart center already, puts us on the higher frequency vibration, and magnetically bring, like, frequency attract frequency. So the more we do something that we like and create that frequency of joy, the more joy is going to come to us. The more we do with love, the more love comes to us. That's like the karma, let's say, right? What goes around comes back around. Input
That's
out.
the you attract what you are comment. You attract what you are. If you want love, you attract love. If you sit here and say, I'm never going to find the perfect partner, you won't, because you just put that energy out there.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to say, I have the perfect partner, and then you give gratitude for the partner that you don't have yet, but you technically have the partner because they're in that other timeline. You're just drawing them into you. Yeah.
It's like, I always meet assholes because I will never find. It's like I already, you know, to the bottom line of the person. But many people are like, everybody I meet all the time, they're just assholes. but they're going to go with the days or just believing that all men are pigs, for example. And hello, that's going to be your reality. Well, I always bring this one example too. I met a person once, and I was talking to her, and I saw a tattoo on her foot, and it was "Love kills slowly." The belief that is engraved in us, and that's as an example. I'm just like, wow, it's going to be so difficult to work with that belief for her to actually experience love as something beautiful that won't be killing her slowly, because the message is already there, so engraved on her foot, the way she steps into her life and walk her life is like, that's the experience. And of course, that's probably from difficult past experiences and whatever, but that's so yeah, belief creates the reality.
So I don't want to give away.
The biology of belief, right? How the belief actually even shifts our genetic codes, epigenetics and so on. But yes, belief creates our reality.
So I don't want to give away all your secrets, and we are over time. So I'm going to wrap us up. Tell our listeners how to find you, where you are, how they can reach you if they want to learn more, because you're a wealth of knowledge, and I want them to come to you and actually learn more.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So my IG is Lukdraki, Lukdraki. And my wife is Astroval _. Let me just double check that for her.
We'll get the correct one, and we'll put the show notes up there too, so they can click it.
_ yes. And our website is miwishamanic.com. So please connect with us, and let's dive deeper into intimate connections.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on the show. And as always, this is Unpause Your Life with Dr. Cali Estes. Thank you, Lukasz, and we will see you guys on the flip side.
Thank you for listening to Unpause Your Life with Dr. Cali Estes and Master Coach Jenny Fontana. Head over to www.thelifecoachmethod.com to learn more about coaching yourself and how to become a master coach.